Welcome to Property Nomads. Bit of news for you. Mortgage rates soar to the highest level for 15 years. Head over to my good friends at the BBC, who I love to criticise, but in this case, I'll give them credit where credit's due. Mortgage rates soar to the highest level for 15 years. So mortgage costs have hit the highest level since 2008. And the average rate on a 2-year fixed deal is now 6.66%. Now, 666. I'll leave you to figure out whether that is a bad omen or not. That's the highest level for quite a while. And the BBC goes on to report that mortgage costs have been soaring recently as lenders grapple with inflation and uncertainty over interest rates set by the Bank of England. Goes on to say mortgage lenders will be questioned by members of Parliament later today. Probably that would have happened by the time you've watched this video. And bank and building societies bosses will be in front of the Treasury Committee today. The hearing will cover the mortgage stress faced by borrowers, the response to people falling behind on repayments, and the wider impact of the UK housing market. Now, this last bit really makes me laugh, and it shouldn't, but it does, because it seems to me that the government or people in charge at Westminster seem to be completely and utterly clueless as to how this has all happened. So we like to recap things on Property Nomads, so let's recap it again. World's getting along tickety-boo, 2019, no problem at all. This, for want of a better word, this little virusy thing comes along, and the Black Swan event, world goes into panic mode, world gets into lockdown mode, and here in UK, because we're all told to stay inside and all that sort of stuff, no one's producing anything, no goods and services are being produced. And without that, people are then not earning. So we have this furlough scheme that comes in that basically says, the government's going to give you 80%, sometimes up to 100% of your wages. Absolutely fine. Don't worry, you don't have to do anything. We'll just literally plot the cash into your account. And also, amongst other things, business bounce back loans, all these sorts of things. And then all these draconian lockdown measures start to get taken away. And people have got a bit lazy. People decided they quite like not doing a lot and having the cash roll into their account, not understanding that basically the government has done a lot of currency printing. And as a result of that, with things being restricted, imports, those sorts of things, that's all been restricted as well. So we've now got a lot more currency chasing the same or fewer amount of goods. And a 3-year-old can tell you those prices are going to go sky high. So the economy starts to open up, and voila, everything starts going through the roof, quite literally. So what happens? We get inflation. It's not instantaneous. It starts to work its way through the system. And then because of NATO policy and the USA and the UK itself, we push Russia to the brink. Russia then decides to invade Ukraine as a result of that. And the government response, key words there, the government response to that invasion of Ukraine meant that no more Russian oil, blah, 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 blah. And we must do it under the guise of climate change. And now all the feces is hitting the fan. And that's just added fuel to the fire, pun intentional. And we now get this situation where we've got a lot more currency sloshing around because the government's told the Bank of England to just go and create it. We've got a bunch of food inflation in general because of government responses to various things over the last couple of years, and modern monetary theory. We're left with a situation where what do you do if you're the Bank of England, if you're the Governor Andrew Bailey? You've really only got one tool in your toolbox, and that is to raise interest rates. And that's exactly what's been going on. Voila, that is the last 18 months in the nutshell. Interest rates have risen because they're trying to combat inflation. But the government, who are seemingly completely oblivious to why inflation has occurred in the first place, they don't either understand or don't want to accept their own responsibility because they're the ones that have created the inflation with their government policies. I'm hoping that all makes sense. So it is laughable when it says that mortgage lenders will be questioned by members of parliament and that bank and building society bosses will be in front of the Treasury Committee, and the hearing will cover the mortgage stress faced by borrowers and how are we going to sort it out? Well, I mean, the damage has already been done. It's been done in the last 3 or 4 years, and government, that is all on you. That is also why we're probably going to have a Labour government from 2025 in this country. So we're fully on the road to serfdom and communism, people. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. So it does make me laugh, the narrative of this particular article, though, again, not great seeing these rates that high, to be honest. They say it's the highest in 15 years, but it's the more the audacity that the government has of playing dumb, going, oh, why has this happened? We demand you come in for questioning, why has this happened? And well, pretty much everyone looks at Westminster and goes, yeah, that's you that's caused that. And hey ho, it's going to get nastier before it gets better. I've been saying this for a little while now, and it's going to be one step back before 2 steps forward, and we're going to have a nasty ass recession. I know that. You're probably aware of that by now, and this is why we always say it's worth protecting yourself outside of not just property, but just outside in general. Do you have metals? Do you have gold, silver? Do you have other income streams? You can always take time to learn about them and implement them as well. Just what we do. It's what you should probably start doing as well if you haven't already started doing that. But yeah, fun times. Mortgage rates at the highest for 15 years, and the government going around acting like they have no idea why it's occurred. And unfortunately, it falls at the government's doorstep. Hey ho, they will probably never learn. Property Nomads out. I'll see you in the next video.